Hey, what's up? Oh my god, it has been quite a long hiatus since the last This Week's Tech News episode, or just a tech video in general. I haven't uploaded in what, like 2 or 3 weeks now. Crazy. But today we're making a return. It's going to be a huge recap here. Um, shoot. I don't know if you guys are enjoying the music or not. Anyone in here yet? One person watching. This is great. Yes. Yeah, I'll let you guys commentate. This is great. Alright, only geniuses can guest commentate. Let me make sure OBS is okay. Okay. Anyone else want to guest commentate?
I'm good.
I'm okay. Subscribe.
Okay.
Yeah. Say that I said subscribe.
Yeah, you guys heard that? Right. I hate when like you're calling at the same time as they're calling and it just hangs up.
Alright, hi.
Hi, alright.
Also, turn up your stream volume. It's really quiet.
Oh yeah, shoot, you're right. Okay, there we go. Yo, I'm gonna restart the stream. I don't know what this is. Alright. So, how much news do we have? We have a Huawei ban, a Samsung Note 10 leak, Sprint 5G also in collaboration with the Samsung leak, Microsoft vulnerability, Google Chrome extension, Google Chrome extensions being stupid, and T-Series becoming the first YouTuber to hit 100 million subscribers, as well as Google facing an investigation from the U.S. Justice Department. So, I think we're going to go ahead and start with the Huawei ban, because that's probably like the biggest thing that's happened so far. I mean, if you think about it, that's all I've been hearing in the tech world like the past few weeks. So, full timeline on how and why its phones are under fire. I was going to make a video on this, but I never got around to doing it because, like I said, I've just been on a long hiatus, unfortunately. Let me skip the song. Alright, anyways. So, how this all started was apparently the US government found backdoors in Chinese tech products like their phones and the stuff used for 5G because China was helping the US develop 5G. The US was using Chinese, basically, essentially, the American companies are using Chinese products to help develop 5G, and this is bad because China could spy on like American secrets and whatnot. So Trump issued an executive order for Congress, essentially, and it banned Huawei products, at least for companies like, for example, Google, to work with them. So now, Google, they make Android, and if you don't know, Huawei uses Android. And I think you can see the problem there. Because guess what? Can't use Android now, and they can't use a lot of chipsets. So it's going to be interesting to see China creating their own CPU as well as creating, or not just CPU, just parts in general. Or just, I guess they can use companies outside of the US, but that's not very many, and most of them are going to not want to work with Huawei at this point. And also, I don't know how they're going to place Android. They could use like Android apps, from what I've heard. Anyways, so let's go through the timeline. starting from the beginning. This goes way back. I don't think we're gonna go through the entire thing, but Huawei is the actual number one seller more than Apple because, well, a lot of people in Asia, they primarily use Huawei. So they've had a huge success rate, and then all of a sudden, they can't help the US make solar tech. Then, cybersecurity issues. Say they can't develop, and also they're developing their own OS instead of Android, because Huawei knew that they had a backup plan, they had a plan B, So their good old plan B was to make their own operating system instead of having, because one day they knew that Android would eventually get banned from Huawei. Then they were helping with 5G chips, I didn't know they were actually helping Apple. I knew they were helping work on 5G and had a lot to do with it, but I didn't know they were helping Apple with it. Then hidden backdoors are found. This is where the controversy really peaked in Huawei phones and whatnot. And yeah, it just went on from there. And then he just got banned. Yep. So, I don't think this is gonna slow down Huawei at all. Their backup operating system is gonna do just fine. But they won't be able to work with other companies as well now. Hope the audio is okay. I'm using my backup mic right now. Should I switch to music? Yeah, I guess I'll switch to music. Anyone in chat? Feel free to leave something in chat. I'm gonna restart.
Blue Eye perceives all things conjoined, the past, the future, and the present. Everything flows, and all is connected. This eye is not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth. There is nothing to fear. Yeah. I see what you mean.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to this week's tech news. Oh my god. I had to redo pretty much the entire stream because I was doing it wrong the entire time. I didn't have my main thing up, you know, the thing with like the background and of course the uh, like the just the stuff around it, like the subscribe button and whatnot. I know it's not usually not that big of a deal, but I just like I don't know where I was going with the stream in general. Looks like anyone watching in the future, I had to cut out the beginning parts, so I still will be talking about the stuff we've missed so far, so don't worry about that. So, first things first, the Huawei tech ban. I already covered this, and I really don't want to do this again because it was a long topic, and I was like talking about it for like 10 minutes. But let's start from the beginning. Huawei was a leader in tech. Number one, not actually Apple was the biggest smartphone seller. Huawei was. Then there were cybersecurity issues. They were banned from making solar panels, but they were working on 5G. But then they found backdoors in their stuff. And from there it just got worse, and essentially now, since they didn't want any US government people to be working with Huawei devices, Trump issued an executive order with Congress, of course, to ban all Huawei products essentially from the government. You can still buy one, but American companies no longer can work with Huawei. And the problem with that is that Huawei has Android, right? And guess what? Android is an American company because it's Google. So now they can't use Google Android. So they can have the new operating system updates. However, Huawei was working on a Plan B operating system to replace Android, but still have Google Apps. So that's good. That's quite good indeed. That they had a Plan B. They knew that was going to happen. So, yeah. Anyways, next, since I already talked about the Huawei stuff, let's talk about the Note 10. Because the Note 10 is coming up. Hopefully it won't blow up this time. Hopefully it won't blast into the competition. Oh, sorry. So we're expecting 1 or 2 models. Specs will have usual phone specs. 8 to 12 gigs of RAM. You know, the Notes are typically better spec than the baseline model. Some of the best Androids on the market. The price is going to be very big. That's like the iPhone price. You know? $1,000 to $1,500, but you're getting a very premium phone that looks better than any phone you could show me. Maybe the camera, like in the middle, is kind of a little bit ugly for some people. For me, I don't have a problem with it at all. But I understand why a lot of people would be complaining about that. So, it's coming quite soon. That's good. I'm really excited to see what it's going to be like. Let's skip this song. Apparently the stream's not smooth. It's this stupid OBS thing. Let's see how the stream itself is going. Is it buffering a lot? Let's hope not. Please don't tell me it's buffering. Okay, that's not bad. My main target is people watching in the future. Anyways, next up, let's talk about more Galaxy 10 stuff. Thought I was done. So, probably coming out August 2019, just as previous releases with August to September. HDR video recording, customizable Bixby button, in-screen fingerprint scanner, completely new look, so it's gonna completely look revamped from your previous Note models. It's gonna be cheaper. This article says it's gonna be cheaper. This one says it's gonna be more expensive. Better facial recognition, as we can expect with new phones. Longer battery. And typical phone upgrades. So, next up, let's talk more about the Galaxy Note 10 in a different sense. Sprint with 5G. Because sorry, I had to yawn. Sprint has been the leader in 5G. It's definitely a lot different from Verizon or whatnot, and they've been working to incorporate it with the Galaxy S10 series. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to play out. Really excited for 5G, except, I don't know, man, it's going to come out too early. What if it causes cancer, like people are saying it will? That would be some scary stuff, you know? I don't think we're quite ready for... I don't think the world is quite ready for 5G, personally. Anyways. Turn that music up. Let me hear how it sounds in the actual stream. I don't think the world's quite ready for 5G, personally. Anyways. Tech news, oh my god. I had to redo pretty much the entire stream because I was doing it wrong the entire time. I didn't have, if you don't know, Huawei uses Android. And I think it can see the problem. Alright. Sounds okay. I might have to turn up desktop audio. Alright, that's better. I hope. If not, then I'm sorry. Because now we're going to talk about Windows vulnerability. How fun. Windows security has not always been the best. Very notorious for their reputation is pretty bad when it comes to security. And this does not better its point. Just there's like patch issues up the butt, and millions of computers are basically vulnerable. So this has been like a problem for a while now, like the past month. And you know, even Windows XP computers can be affected by this. So don't think that old Windows was so much better, because okay, I'm kind of fanboying Microsoft and saying, oh, newer is always better, because obviously Windows 7 and even XP are better than Windows 10. Even 8 is better than Windows 10, but security-wise, you know, it's kind of always been the same, if not getting better. This is pretty bad. 1 million computers are under it as a threat to this exploit. Next, Google Chrome. Google Chrome, I always tell people not to use it, but it's kind of hard to avoid nowadays. due to how everyone likes to use its extensions. Well, guess what? Extensions use too much data in the first place, so that completely ruins your privacy as well. Also, I think it's kind of quite ironic that I was complaining about Windows security even though I'm on Windows right now. Isn't that quite ironic? Because it sure is. Anyways, so it's gonna have to use less data essentially. Limited from broadly accessing content, instead be required to access only specific files they need. Because a lot of times when, like, say you use an extension, it like accesses way too much stuff, like a bunch of unnecessary stuff. It just like reads all of it. So that's a good step for Chrome. I think Chrome's going to be better to use now because you don't have all those spyware infested extensions, and just gives it a little bit of hope for Chrome. Next, now we're just getting to like the fun news. Not really fun for most of you. T-Series, the first channel to hit 100 million subscribers. Oh well, don't want to get copyright claimed here. Here's them hitting 1 million subscribers. 100 million subscribers. Pretty sad. I wanted PewDiePie to win because it obviously independent content, but as a tech channel, it's kind of something I feel as a duty to report. Because YouTube as a platform and whatnot. And then Google is in trouble with the government. For antitrust violations. Funny that Google's not banned. But it's an American company, so they can't constitutionally do any of that. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this episode, I guess. There's not much to talk about. This episode kinda was just my return. So, yeah. Bye.